Talking about the future in English, it seems pretty simple, right? But what if I told you there are actually four different ways to do it? And really getting them down is the secret to sounding totally natural. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Let's dive in. No, really, just think about it for a second. How do you talk about what you're doing next week, or heck, even in the next hour? It sounds like such a basic question, but getting the answer just right, well, that's what separates pretty good English from really great English. If you've ever found yourself kind of pausing, wondering if you should say I will go or I am going to go, trust me, you are not alone. It's probably the single most common sticking point for English learners. But don't you worry, we are about to make it crystal clear. See, the secret is that there isn't just one future tense. Nope, you've got four powerful tools you can use. And I promise, by the end of this, you're going to know exactly when to use each one. Think of this as the final piece of the grammar puzzle. Let's solve it. Okay, so let's get a bird's eye view of these four ways we're going to use to talk about what's coming up next. First things first, let's tackle the two you'll use the most. These are the basics, and it all boils down to one simple idea: decisions versus plans. So first up, we have will. Think of this as your go-to for in-the-moment spontaneous decisions. Your friend texts you, "I'm so bored." You text right back, "Don't worry, I will call you in 5 minutes." See? You made that decision on the spot. It's also for predictions that are more like opinions, like, "I think our team will win the game." It's a gut feeling, not a sure thing. And then, on the flip side, we have going to. This is all about plans you made before you even started talking. So if someone asks about your evening, you'd say, "I am going to watch a movie," because you already had that plan in mind. And for predictions, you use going to when you've got evidence. You look outside, see those dark, heavy clouds, and say, "Whoa, look, it's going to rain." So here it is, side by side. Will is for that spur-of-the-moment feeling. I'm tired, I will rest. Going to is for the plan you've already got. I am going to rest today. It's all about whether it's a spontaneous choice or a pre-made plan. Easy, right? Okay, we've nailed the basics. Now let's get a little more sophisticated. How do you talk about something that's going to be happening at a specific time? This is how you really start to paint a vivid picture of the future. This is where will be doing, or the future continuous, comes into play. It's for describing an action that's gonna be underway. You're not just saying it'll happen. You're basically dropping us right into the middle of it. And this timeline shows it perfectly. Just look at that point at 8 p.m. tomorrow. You're not starting dinner, you're not finishing it, no. At that exact moment, you will be having dinner. You are right in the middle of that action. And now for our final, most advanced tool. This one is absolutely perfect for talking about goals, deadlines, and accomplishments. It's almost like you're time traveling to the future and looking back at what you've already done. This bad boy is called the future perfect, and it is all about completion. You use will have done to say that something will be finished before a certain point in time. It's the tense of deadlines and getting things done. This timeline makes it so clear. Let's say your deadline is Friday. You're planning on finishing your work before then, so you can confidently say, "By Friday, I will have finished my work." The whole focus is on that beautiful feeling of completion. All right, so we've looked at all four of our tools. Now for the really cool part. Let's put them all together and see how they create this rich, detailed picture of the future, just like in a real conversation. So here it is, your complete toolkit, all in one place. I will do for those snap decisions. I am going to do for your plans. I will be doing for an action in progress. And I will have done for an action that's all wrapped up. Now let's see them in action. Let's build a story, piece by piece. We can start with a simple, spontaneous decision. Tomorrow, I will wake up early. It's a clear statement of what you've just decided to do. Okay, now let's add a layer. We'll connect that decision to a pre-existing plan. I am going to follow a new routine that I planned. See? This shows it's not just a random idea, it's something you've actually thought about. Now, let's zoom in on a specific moment in that routine. What's happening at 8 a.m. sharp? At 8 a.m., I will be exercising. We can literally picture you in the middle of your workout. And finally, we'll end with the goal. Looking ahead to the finish line, we can say, "By the end of the day, I will have completed all my important tasks." Do you see how those 4 sentences build a full, detailed, and really confident story about tomorrow? All right, now it's your turn. Honestly, the absolute best way to make this stick is to actually use it. So go ahead, pause right here, and say your answers to these 4 questions out loud. This is how you take grammar from being a rule in a book and turn it into a tool you can actually use. Come on, give it a shot. And really, that's what this is all about. These aren't just boring old grammar rules. They're tools. They're how you shape and share your plans, your goals, your ambitions. You now have the complete system for talking about your future with total confidence. So the only question left is, what future are you going to describe?